Hey everybody, it is July 24th and we've got a limited time series at hand. As you can see, it's for Ferrari F40 LM and this one will run through 30th of July, next Thursday. So this one is a rerun, if you will. We had the limited time series for this car last year, I want to say. So general premise of rerun events is they're going to require a slightly higher PR for this time around with a slightly lower gold payout. So this time it's going to pay 50 gold and the PR requirement this time around is going to be bumped up to 78.2, which is still not high enough to complete the motorsports section this car's featured in, which is the 1989 season of Endurance GT racing. So if you won this car last year, you already have high enough PR to complete the 75% completion in that season, and getting this extra upgrade for this time around still obviously not gonna get you up to 79.3, which is what's required to 100% complete the 1989 season of Endurance GT racing. So that brings us to obviously, if you don't own this car, then this is by far the cheapest way to obtain this car and, you know, get it with some, I want to say 23 upgrades you're going to need. And one more special thing about this limited time series, if you haven't started the game yet today, basically, they're going to give you 1 day, the 24-hour time limit on instant service and instant upgrades on this car, starting from the time you launch the game. So if you're starting, you know, just don't open the game unless you know you can maybe make some significant process, if not completely complete the series in next 24 hours, more or less. I think it's okay. So it's not one of those short 3-hour thing, it's a full 24 hours, so I appreciate that. So let's check into the series itself and find out what we've got here. Earn a 1989 Ferrari F40 Le Mans by 100% completing this special limited time series. So a few of the legendary Ferrari F40 LM were built that only a handful can be driven today. Except in game, everybody can drive it. You don't even have to own the car to drive it because it's in limited time series. So here's the breakdown of the 50 gold rewards. So if you already own this car from last run of the limited time series, then there is some 30 free gold to be won by. You can complete up to tier 13. Tier 14 is where you're gonna get PR blocked, because that's where it's gonna require higher PR than the last time around. So how do I know that? I've already actually gone through it in one of my main accounts. So this is my like a video account, I guess, at this point. So yeah, and then of course this one. If I decide to play all the way through all 15 tiers on this account, I would have to spend just under 600 gold to meet the PR requirement. The car itself is worth 800 gold, and it is featured in a single car season of that Endurance GT racing. So if you wanna, you know, take part in that series, you have to own this car. So there's that. It's not like one of those more modern seasons where we have multiple cars featured. So here, we'll use gold and get the whole thing taken care of right away. And we'll pretend we won the car. So basically an upgraded version of F40. Probably one of the most iconic 80s Ferrari, right? So yeah, so it unlocks the 1989 season of Endurance GT Racing. And as you can see, instant upgrade and instant service. So let's go to the last tier, tier 15, the Cup at Hockenheim Grand Prix. 4 laps, PR requirement is 78.2. Oh, and yes, there is an exclusive series for this car as well. So technically it's featured in 2 series, but you know, to fully upgrade this car, it's gonna cost quite a bit more. So we'll talk about that for an entirely separate video. But for this one, let's talk about getting those, meeting that PR requirement of 78.2. So this comes in handy because we got instant R&D for racing dollar upgrades right now. So if you complete your tier 1 upgrades, let's go through that real quick. So base PR 63.3, right? And then as we go through, by the way, tier 1 upgrades are the only ones available on this car for racing dollars. Tier 2 on is all gold, as you will see here. So total of tier 1 upgrades here, 462,400 racing dollars. Brings your PR up to 67.8. So that is a boost of 4.5 PR points. And let's go on to check the tier 4 of the series here. And the PR requirement is 68.7, obviously higher than what you can pull off with the racing dollar upgrades alone. And none of the upgrades available on this car is that cheap, so it will cost you a bit more here. So 75 gold for tier 2 gold upgrade. This is where you're gonna break some 428 gold, by the way. And it does unlock the next tier racing dollar upgrade, as you can see, which is all available instantly for the first 24 hours. So all right, next, exhaust, brakes, 48 gold, tires and wheels, another 55 gold. So there's your total tier 2 upgrades costing some 428 gold. And then, as I said, of course, it brings your PR up to 72.3, which is another 4.5 PR point boost. And then let's go ahead and get the tier 3 upgrades, which is going to total 1,040,000 racing dollars. And normally, if you didn't have this instant R&D offer available, tier 1 would take 8 hours each. Every category basically, but if you get them all done at once, then it's a total of 8 hours, right? And then this tier 3 would take 18 hours. So you don't have to wait for that for now. So let's get the tier 3 upgrades real quick. Which should bring the PR up to like another 4.5, I'd assume. I don't remember off the top of my head what my PR was apparently it was 76.9 is what we got to win this car last time. So that is like 4.6 PR point boost, isn't it? Slightly higher than the previous upgrades. All right. And then now we gotta, so this PR will 76.9 will get you through tier 14. Well, complete the tier 13, but 14 is where you're gonna get blocked. So tier 13 PR requirement is 76.8. So obviously you have enough to get through here, but tier 14 it does have higher PR, 77.5, and then to complete, as we checked, it's 78.2. So how do we get there? Well, you max out basically the engine, so that's gonna cost another 170 gold. And then if you get that last racing dollar upgrade in this category, it brings your PR up to 78.2, and there you have it. And now you can meet the PR requirement. So for those of you guys who already own this car, you're spending 170 gold, and what final gold, like 100% completion of this event, get you 20 extra gold. So it's like getting 20 gold discount on 170 gold upgrade, which is pretty dismal discount if you think about it in terms of discount. Even the whole thing, like 50 gold in 170 gold upgrade, is that's slightly under 30%, isn't it? Considering when we are offered upgrade offers like discount, they're usually about 30%. There, on occasion they have something that's like 20% only, but typically they're 30% or higher. We've seen some with a 40% discount on upgrades too. So is it worth getting extra upgrade to complete this limited time series and claim that final 20 gold if you already own this car? I don't think so. But if you're one of those completionists, you want to complete everything in the game, then hey, go for it. You're that much closer to 100% upgrading the car, which means you're that much closer to having access to limited, the exclusive series. So there's something to that, right? So anyway, that will do it for this video. So yeah, now you got, I have all the relevant information in the description box for this video below, so check that out, and we'll see you guys in the next video. So good luck.